masseuse because they feel like they're not getting as much
Well,
attention.
it makes sense for a girl to do.
Right.
For me,
you
they
know,
were
I mean,
trying to
at that
make
time I
me
had a
blush.
boyfriend, and it's you know, it's just a massage. But I was just trying to make sure they get some money too. But I have noticed though that the girls are better than the guys. So I actually mostly, yeah, they are. I don't know why.
The guy
It's
that I got
surprising.
the second time, the Italian gentleman that's been there the last 7 years, is as good as a girl. But he's been one of that group.
So you did go with me.
I didn't
I'm
want
teasing,
to,
I'm
but it
teasing.
still felt good, you know, as I was trying not to get excited during the massage, because then that would create a situation.
Yeah.
Have you guys noticed there's the one?
This is why Jamie calls you creepy. Now I understand.
It was with a guy, and he wasn't that much younger than me. There's no creepiness involved.
I know, I'm
with it.
teasing you.
There's one male masseuse there who I don't get massages, male or female, but there's one male masseuse there who a little bit of an older guy, blonde hair. He comes around and like tries to look you directly in the eyes and just like assumes that you want a massage. Like every World Series, he goes out. Yeah, he's like staring because poor guy. He never gets anybody. You know, he's a male masseuse, and like you said, he never. And he comes around like trying to make eye contact with you, and then he's like, "Oh, you want a massage? You want a massage?" I'm like, "No, I don't."
It's like, fine, okay, yes, you can work my shoulders. All right.
I forget. I
feel bad. I'm
the
like, go ahead. But yeah, the girls are really good out there, and there's a few that are really, really good.
Yes.
I mean, I don't get them often at the table. I'm not like a, you know,
I'm pretty friendly with 5 of them over the years, and they know I'm just like, you know, too cheap to get a massage and tips. So they're my friend, but I give them kind bars when they come over and they're hungry. So I'd still get a 5-minute rub while they're looking for their favorite clientele.
Yeah. I mean, I wish I was a boss like, you know, Dana Negreanu, who just has a masseuse stand there.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome. I mean, one day hopefully, but not yet.
Most of these 5 were booked for the whole main event. You know, the same person would keep them.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
And I think Drea was doing art most of the time. So, you know, I think they have a picture of him saying, "Will you go out to dinner with me now?" You know?
Oh, wow.
And she said yes. Sidor, that would be Drea you're talking about. Said that the massages are $2 plus a tip, so figure if you get an hour, that's 120, and if you're a baller, you're giving 200. If you're me, you're giving 150 and getting a look, so yeah, I avoid it.
And for those also tuning in, there is a new outdoor pool area with a beer garden and games. There's about 100 beers or something. Live music 3 nights a week, and happy hour Sunday to Thursday. So for any ping pong players out there or beer lovers out there, there's a new garden, new outdoor open pool and game section. So go check that out if you're around Borgata.
And we're going to be there if
and
they're
get a
open
tan.
tonight.
Still a good time to get a tan, which I so desperately need one.
Yeah, I don't even know what that word means. That word's not in my vocabulary.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Joe's regained chip lead once again, and, you know, they were all pretty tight. So hopefully the beer gardens are open late tonight.
I used to be tan every summer, and yeah, no mas.
Well, think about it. When you get older, these
well, that's one of the
masses will
reasons,
help.
that I kind of have stayed away. But I do like a nice tan here and there. It's called a spray tan.
Spray tan helps.
Yeah.
Is that the kind of tan you used to have, or did you use?
No. I used to have I used to live in Brooklyn on Brighton Beach, which was right next to the beach. I lived across the street from the beach. I mean, I grew up on the beach, so I would go every day, every summer.
Well, you're there now.
I did move back, but I'm actually at a different location where I'm in Bensonhurst area. So when I go out, when I go out to the other side of Brooklyn, I just end up playing handball, and getting a tan at the same time. I mean, an uneven tan, but it's okay. So little by little, I'm going to make my way outside again.
You got to play on the opposite court to tan the other side.
Well, we play in the first court, so we, you know.
It's the first court where, like, the good players play and, like, it goes down.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, when you've Yeah, you start. I remember when I started in the back courts and you work your way up. I mean, I
Me and Kane
grew
are
up
gonna
there
go
since
to
I
the
was
back
18.
courts and try to get ourselves in before we jump on the first
Yeah. Well,
court.
we have like a ladies like the first court is obviously the most amazing players, but there's like 3 courts on each row basically, and you know there's a wall, so there's a backside to it too. But the third court, which is still in the first row, there's a nice ladies court that we have usually. So we have really good games out there. Really good games, and guys jump into, and we have a really good time.
I'll have
You
to
mean
check it
guys
out.
guys jump into the ladies' courts, kind of like Abe
Yeah, kind of
Kuroki
like basically, yeah, and
likes
it's
to jump into the ladies' events.
right, and it increases our game, and it helps us. So
Has
it
Abe
gets
shown up
really
down
really
there?
fun.
Has Abraham
He
been
has
down there?
not. No, I mean unless he came with a wig the other day, maybe
He
I
don't
don't
wear a
know.
wig.
Might have been him.
No, he
That
doesn't
would've
wear a
been
wig. That's funny. I was thinking the
We invite
handball-
the guys, obviously.
Besides you, of course, are the handball chicks traditionally hot like the volleyball chicks on the beach?
Yeah. I mean, you'll be surprised. There's some beautiful handball
Do
players.
they have the Brooklyn accent? Is it like, yo, it's my shot. What are you doing?
There,
Give me the
there are a
freaking
few,
ball.
yeah.
Give me the freaking ball. I'm on the number 1 court.
Yeah,
I think I'm
mean,
going to
you're
do
in
the rest of
Brooklyn.
the
What do you
telecast
expect?
on
You're
Brooklyn.
gonna get some.
So Galvin's got
flavor.
8s. He's seeing a flop against Joe's king 6. Nah, I don't think I want to do the whole thing.
I'm trying to figure out if
Brooklyn.
that's an Italian accent or if that's a Brooklyn
It's
accent.
Brooklyn, but
Is it?
most of Brooklyn's like, you know, the Italian.
Yeah.
You don't find the guys that like are in the projects talking like the Italians and grabbing their unit.
Dave, who's your? Let me hear your best poker player impersonation.
I'm not doing that.
No, that's what I want to hear. Your best
Yes.
poker player impersonation. Who is it?
I could
Come
do
Oh, let us
Mike
guess.
getting into an argument, but that
He's
wouldn't
turning
be right.
red.
Well, I'm gonna do Dentali arguing with the floor right now. No.
Yeah, let's hear that.
I haven't
No,
seen it.
No, I haven't done it yet.
Dentali, would you like him to impersonate you right now?
No.
Type in the chat box.
Yeah,
Oh,
type in
Dentali,
the chat box.
he'd like it. He'll
I'd
take
ha-
the attention.
I'd have to
Yeah.
get off of Twitter because of all the attacks I'd be receiving after that.
Oh,
I'd have
stop it.
the Dentali clan chasing me.
I post stuff on Twitter all the time. I always have. Who cares?
Who cares?
McKeon raising the Queen 8. Abraham coming in with the 10-6. Going to see a flop. A little bit of a loose defense here. Ace, Queen, Deuce.
And
Kean,
Joe
middle
hit
pair.
a freaking queen and he checked it.
Playing true to form here, continuing to check back. Second pair is Joe, and now Abraham is grabbing some chips. It looks like he's going to lead this turn for about half pot. Imagine McKeon will not be going anywhere. And I'm wrong. McKeon lays it down and
Interesting.
gives the pot to Abraham, and McKeon continuing to play pretty passively here, folding a lot against Abraham
Abraham.
specifically.
Gives him a tighter image.
Giving him some credit
Some
here, and
respect,
now
yep.
the moment everybody's been waiting for, Mike Dentali impersonation
Oh,
from Coldstone.
I don't think we're getting it, Kane. That's
Are
my
you
read on him.
talking about the 86th and 14th Avenue Park?
No, I'm talking about the Coney Island handball court in Brooklyn.
It's the Coney Island handball
You know,
court.
Coney
Matador.
Island.
Well, Matador's asking where it's going to be.
Coney Island. I mean, we used to play so often that once when it would snow, we would shovel the snow off the court and we would play. I mean, this is how much of a degenerate I was when I was a handball player too. So yeah, there's games going all the time. There's night lights, so you can always go and have a game. There's plenty of players from all different calibers there, so it's really fun.
Sounds great.
And it's a full body workout. It's your arms, your legs, your core, your back, your shoulders, everything. And
you just lost half the people that were going to come play with that.
it's everything. And we have a hand here.
Joe with the King 9, Abraham with the suited cards.
Joe McKean with the gut shot, and Abraham with top pair picks up a flush draw on the turn. Abraham, we usually see him checking in the small blind when he has something. Bets. 500,000. And Joe McKeon puts it down. Lays down.
Matador, bring your partner down and we'll play him some handball. You just let us know when and give me like a week or two to practice. Can you use a backhanded handball or does
Yeah,
it
you
not
can
work?
use whatever you want.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
works?
well, usually, some people start playing with a backhand, but I would recommend them start being ambidextrous and play with both hands because it's going to be much easier for you. You learn that skill of using your left hand.
Use the back of your hand?
No, I use
your
both
hand.
hands. I use my left hand and my right hand. So
do you use a two-handed backhand in handball or no?
Two-handed backhand? No.
That's tennis.
Yeah. Which is one of my favorites, actually. Is my favorite tennis stroke is the
two-handed backhand.
The two-handed backhand.
I started adapting it when I got older, like a lefty baseball swing.
I don't have that. I just do.
Yeah, I have more control with two.
You do a ping pong backhand?
I just do a ping pong backhand, and every time it's awful because I can only slice the ball.
Over the net,
Mm.
Yeah, if you tried to practice it two-handed, I would watch little Chang do it, and it's just like you're just ripping over the ball. Like if you were, I don't know if you could switch hit in baseball, but I can hit lefty, and it's just so much more power.
Huh.
And for those that miss it, next year, Dave, Kane, and myself, we are going to be maybe teaming up for the Olympics next year.
Oh man,
in the summer.
Any competition's fun.
Yeah, I love competition.
And Calvin continuing to pounce on McKeon when he limps a small blind here. It seems like he is taking kind of his weakest non-suited hands and choosing to raise them up out of the big blind. All players pretty even in chips. McKeon with the underdog with 5.3 million. Calvin next with 6.25 million, and then Abraham with 6.5 million.
Yeah, pretty close distribution of
Very
chips.
close. And I'm wondering if they had a discussion with each other earlier. We'll never know, or we won't know, or we won't announce, but we'll continue to play. But
if there was a deal, you're trying to say.
Well, we're not really allowed to discuss that during that 5-minute break that happened.
Right, yeah, sure. we aren't aware. I have no idea.
I would be surprised if
I would be too if Joe would do anything.
Here,
yeah, I don't think so.
Well, I mean, and they all want the trophy too.
They all want the cash.
I think I'm not quite sure any of these three really care about the cash.
Cash is cash.
I mean,
$350,000.
Listen, 300.
I'm sure Joe's not playing for the trophy. I mean, he's also playing for the cash.
It's only $230 more than.
It's not really pocket change. It's like.
So it's only a difference of $250,000.
Only.
Abe has his collection of trophies. Joe's got some big trophies, and Calvin wants to get a trophy.
Yeah, Calvin has a bracelet.
Yeah.
He wants to add a nice Borgata Poker Championship title next to it. Interesting.
Yeah, I'm not sure Abe's gonna. Yeah, they did it.
And Calvin takes it down. It is going to be interesting now that they have this even, pretty much chip distribution to see who's going to be a little more aggressive. Because Calvin, for quite some time, was pretty aggressive. Then took it slow, and let's see if he gets aggressive again and starts to take more chips. That hand obviously had an ace.
And again, you notice Abe's quiet, where Calvin and Joe seem to have a little more energy. They're talking with each other.
Joe looks a little frustrated, though.
Yeah.
Wondering why it's taking so long.
But he's smiling.
But he has a good table here.
He's smiling, and obviously,
fun.
they banked some money, so they're happy about that. But I'm just talking about the tiredness of the difference in aging. I'm not sure if Abe's over 60, Abraham, or not. But it's his 4th straight day, and not that he hasn't played many days of poker, but these two are kids.
Well, one thing about Joe is, I mean, this guy has discipline. I have never seen this guy, long hours or long sessions really bring him off his game. I've never seen Joe McKeon.
Yeah. No, I'm talking more Abe's age.
Exactly,
Yeah.
But I'm saying Joe, more so than other professionals his age, just seems to be able to play his game regardless of the circumstances, regardless of the hours. A lot of patience, and
yes,
he goes ahead and stabs there and rakes in that pot.
It's a fun feeling to stack chips.
You want to say act, right? Yeah. Okay. Just act on no, the KT has found like 169 here before you. Justin? No, Justin, yeah. Oh, you know. I mean, you know, yeah. Oh, no, we know, yeah. I've known Justin forever. Oh, really? Yeah. Yeah, for years.
Abe is 70, but old enough to sit. I think they're doing jokes. Abe has a sick two-handed backhand.
Tournament rates for the Borgata Poker Open September 5th to the 22nd are available. You can call 609-317-1000 to reserve your rooms for those days. So the tournament rates for the rooms are up. Give us a call and reserve your room today.
And don't forget, we think Angeline's has good food.
So we've heard.
So we've heard.
So Angeline, if you're listening and if you'd like us to rate your food live, we are open to it. I mean, we had dinner, but I would love some cheesecake if you do have that around.
Absolutely.
Right, what's your favorite dessert?
Oh, wow. I'm loaded.
Bananas Foster.
That's a strong choice. I mean, I could go from cakes to ice cream. I mean,
Oh,
I like
yeah,
desserts.
I love ice cream. Oh, dessert's my favorite part of the meal.
I mean, I did have an ice cream store. It's kind of tough to lose weight while having an ice cream store, but I did it for my doctor.
Mine is chocolate lava cake, man.
Oh, that's strong, but you gotta use your weight for that.
Cannot. I know this. I had to give that.
You don't
Had
look
to-
like you eat chocolate lava cake, but I guess if
I
you're not
do.
eating
No,
meat, you can.
I had to step away from it for a little while.
Well, I like
I was starting to
the
put on
Belgian
some.
waffles are pretty good also from a place near me. They put ice cream and stuff all over them. Butter cake from
Love
Mastro's.
lava cake.
I never thought butter cake was a real thing, and I just had it in a restaurant. I never
Really?
ordered butter cake, and it was just so good.
Ooh, you want to talk about a great butter cake if you've ever been to Maestro's.
That's where he's actually referring
Oh,
to.
okay.
Oh.
So unbelievable.
Where's
One
that?
of the best desserts I've ever had. So the original's in Beverly Hills, I believe, but then there's also one at the Crystal Shops in Las Vegas. And then there's another one, I believe, in Malibu.
Joe's got top hair, and Calvin's deciding if he wants to call it a jack. One in Malibu, so they're in pretty elite areas, huh?
Yeah, it's a high-class
Creme de
steakhouse.
la
Good
creme.
steak, but fantastic lobster bisque. Unbelievable there. And such good butter cake. That butter cake is really to die for.
so we
I
have
put
a-
my stamp on the butter cake.
So we should get the cream soup and the butter cake and go exercise.
The lobster bisque. Yeah.
That's slightly creamy.
Well, yeah.
Someone said, "Don't buy Junior's cheesecake." There were reports of rodents running around in the restaurant. I don't know. That's not good.
I'm thinking people just make up things.
It could be.
You
Could
know,
be a troll.
You know what? Del Frisco's banana bread pudding, that's really good. If you like bread pudding, if you like banana.
Do you like bread pudding?
And the Del Frisco's in Philadelphia has the most amazing ambiance. It's a refurbished bank. It used to be a bank, and then so it's just this very, very, very nice interior.
Junior's is clean. Who's
Okay,
the
someone
announcer
is
that wants
drawing.
to end it? That would probably be me.
325, I thought was
Yeah, send the link. Why not?
Show tits or let's flip doesn't really like the announcer. We don't really like your name. So you guys
I
see what
think
they're playing for.
show tits or less flip would probably like the announcing if your mic were a little louder. That's what I think.
I can't keep moving it, and I'm sorry, but
It's like practically in your mouth.
it is practically in my mouth. Stop talking about cheesecakes, guys.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I do love cheesecake.
Calvin with the ace-10 of hearts. We haven't seen a lot of suited ace-10s. We have seen a lot of offsuit ones, but now we see a suited ace-10. Get out of the way of the camera, Joe. Joe, get out of the way of the camera. There we go.
Stretching his legs.
He raises, takes it down.
Yes, Borgata is a nice place. Someone commented.
Yeah, that would
and
be-
it
that would
is.
be-
Lots of really good food and great poker.
Calvin with a pair of 4s.
Looks like he's deciding how much to bet. What does the raw dot mean on the hat? You want to know?
I don't know.
Abraham, oh, bunch of clubs here.
Bunch of clubs with Joe having the best of them.
Abraham
Is Joe
calls
going
in
to
small
call
blind.
here, or is he going to 3-bet? He just calls.
Yeah, he looks. Just calls. Sees the flop. Plays it sneaky. Hoping to see some clubs, but there's quite a amount of players with clubs. Oh,
There's one of them.
there's one.
Here's one.
Abraham with a gut shot, but Calvin's still ahead with his pair of 4s.
I expect this to get checked around.
Oh, okay. Let's get checked around. 5 of spades.
Whatever bets
Doesn't
wins.
hit any player. But Calvin is still ahead with his 4s. Abraham does have a gut shot. And his queens and jacks are live. And there's a
very
jack.
live.
And Abraham has a check mark. Let's see if he checks or bets, and he checks. Huh. Hoping someone takes a stab. Joe's looking like he might do it. Yeah, the check by Abraham works. Gets a little extra.
Abraham's not
Two
following.
beans. Calvin 4s don't look so good on a board like that.
And plus he has a player behind him. That's calling anyway, but yeah.
And small blind and big blind can have pretty much anything, although small blind more so has Broadway hands, more so hits Abraham's range. So I'm kind of surprised that Joe's betting here, but no one took a stab, so he took it and is going to find out that Abraham does in fact have a Broadway card and takes it down with a pair of jacks.
And Joe doesn't show. Oh, he
Joe does show.
Yeah, he does show.
Abraham will show the winning hand.
Yeah, Joe doesn't like to waste time. He shows his hand. He knows the deal. Keep him moving. If you get called, you got to show your hand. That's just poker etiquette, see? I just made up a new word. Etiquette.
So Joe McKeon bringing up the rear with 5.5 million. Calvin with 6 million. Abraham with 6.5 million. It's been super tight between these 3 players here. A long 3-handed match at this final table.
Whoever wins the next hand will be chip leader, and so on and so on. So very tight.
Well, Abraham has been the chip leader for most of this final table here. Joe was briefly the chip leader for a little while. So if these 3 guys, if I told you that, if a genie told you that none of them played poker for a living, what would you guess their profession would be if they were not poker players, just by looking at them?
Okay. You want to start with Joe?
Let's start with Joe.
All right. That's a good one. What would he be?
What a loaded question. You asked the question that you're never going
I'm
to
trying to think.
answer.
He
You're
looks so
like,
serious.
For you guys on the Twitch, you can go ahead and put in your comments as well.
Let's see. I don't know. What do you think, Kane?
How about you name 3 occupations and we place them in each one?
No, I just want to
I'll do
know
it for
what you think.
How about I give you this one? 3 occupations. You got fast food operator, you have doctor, and you have teacher. Where you put in the 3?
Fast food operator.
Abraham
Fast
teacher.
food cook.
Okay, so the fast food operator is Joe McKeon.
Flipping fries?
the doctor and the teacher. That's what it's between.
Yeah.
Could go either way.
I would say. That the teacher is Calvin, and the doctor is Abraham.
I do the reverse in the doctor
Here.
teacher.
Would you?
Me too, I would, yeah. Abraham looks so patient, and teachers are usually patient, and
And you know, Asian doctors.
Yeah,
not
I mean, they-
stretch.
Do you have some
either can
impulsive
do both.
doctors?
yeah.
The Korean dude's the surgeon.
I, you know, maybe.
Taxi
Ah, get her
All
out of here.
right, hurry up. Take the shot and just leave.
So
Lot of
but
fun
wait,
times.
all 3 of us agree that Joe would be the fast food operator.
I think so, yeah. I think that one we agree on.
Since we were forced to use just those 3 professions.
Since we were, yeah.
Abe would make a good Bruce Wayne. Abe would make a good serial killer. Mobile app developer. Very creative comments from you guys.
Mobile app developer for Abe?
We're all wrong. Joe's a doctor.
He doesn't look like he's in the right age demo for the mobile app developer.
That's true. I would think that might go more to Calvin. McKeon, male stripper.
Calvin raises here in the small blind with the 6-5 suited, and Abraham calls. And Calvin hits a 6.
Chip Herm.
And I'm assuming we'll see bet.
Well, he might just check
You could
here.
just check
Yes.
too, yeah. You have a hand.
Abraham
Let
doesn't
him
even
catch up.
consider a bluff here.
Checks
Quickly checks behind, and now he turns a gut shot.
I saw your Twitch. I saw what you put in for Calvin. I can't read everything that's written in here. Some of these things just aren't proper.
And again, Abraham still not stabbing. He's playing his no pair hands pretty passively this final table.
Yeah. And Calvin takes it down with a check, check. Abraham does not put any chips in the middle, and every chip counts. Got some good pay jumps. Next pay jump is 72,000.
I've done a bunch of things with it.
Third place winner will take home 123,000.
Pocket change.
Yeah. You raise right here, out of 6-5 of diamonds is big, and he does 3 raises. I'm probably just calling you about 3 to 3. I'm pretty happy.
So I think we have a movie being developed on the Twitch stream from what their professions would be. They now have not only being the profession, but what they get accused of and how it goes about.
What were the professions we came up with?
Their picks?
Yeah.
The ones I could mention?
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say some we can't mention.
The porn star stuff I won't bring up. You had mall cop, male stripper, Wawa employee.
For who? For it,
Mostly Joe.
all Joe.
Joe, a washed up basketball coach, Goblin man, living in the basement, manager at McDonald's, male stripper, Calvin, the skateboard video director, mall cop, Calvin, a GP star. Abe would be a taxi driver, Korean dude's a surgeon, Asian dude's a rapper, Joe, a Wawa employee, Calvin, the mobile app developer, Abe, a serial killer, and then that's where the synopsis starts of the story. Then somebody said you would make a good narrator for the Bruce Wayne Batman show in the 60s. Your voice is perfect.
Yeah, Kane's voice is spot on.
Spot on.
Love.
Kane is the Bruce Wayne Batman voice from the 60s.
And for those that maybe, I'm sure everyone knows, but I'm sure in case people don't know, Kane's father, late father, was one of the biggest well-known broadcaster for the Phillies.
Commentated
right?
for the Phillies
commentated
for
the Phillies.
many, many years. My brother,
I was
this
just
is
going
his
to
first.
mention that because in our last telecast, he had just gotten that spot.
He
we
just
talked
got the
about.
job at Houston, and now the Astros are one of the 2 teams to beat in Major League Baseball right now. So
The
very
luck of
exciting
having
for
the
him.
right voice. Talk for you.
Yeah, so Kane Callis has those same pipes as his dad and does a great job.
And
Thank you.
brother.
That's quite a
And
compliment.
brother.
Yeah. I remember when I was staying with Chris Horter a long time ago, and you were playing something and you were deep in something. I forgot what it was, and you know what? We met at the WSOP, right?
Yeah.
Briefly with playing werewolf and stuff. And I remember talking to Chris, and he was like, "Oh my God, wait, you mean like Kane Callis?" He got so excited. He was like, "Oh my God, I love his father." And so you invited me to one of the Philly games, and you were nice enough to take me to the Philly game. And I asked you, I said, "Is it okay if I take my friend? He really, really, really is a huge fan." And you were so sweet, and you said, "Yeah, of course, take him out." And he had the best time. He said it was one of his best memories. And
Yeah,
he's
that was
very
the first
thankful.
time I met Chris. So yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, Chris is awesome. Big
Good
shout out to
time.
Chris Horter if you're listening. So I remember
What
those
up,
days.
Chris?
chance.
Chris
And,
counting the Blumstein
Afterwards,
cash.
we went to a beer garden with ping pong tables. I'm not sure if we ever got the ping pong game
No,
on
we
back then,
didn't.
though.
Now we know. Now we
so
know.
you guys are hustling ping pong. It's not the first time you tried to
I
set
think
it
we
up.
may have played a little bit
No,
of shuffleboard.
We did
though.
play shuffleboard.
Yeah,
Yeah, we played
Abraham takes that
shuffleboard,
hand down with nines. Go
which
ahead,
was
guys.
super fun. That was a really cool place. It was like an outdoor.
Liberty Beer Garden.
Yeah, Liberty Beer Garden in Philly. Really, really fun. If you're ever in the area, trust me, check it out. If you just want to hang out with a bunch of friends or you can play games with different people there, I mean, it's awesome. Oh, and I remember they had the big chessboard, which is what I went crazy about. There was a big chessboard there,
Oh
no?
yeah, there's a few places with big chessboards.
There's a big
Somebody
chessboard. I'm
just
trying to remember if it's
invited me to
another
play
location in
chess a
Vegas,
few
but
days
I'm
ago
pretty
somewhere.
sure. I'm pretty sure there is one.
Huh.
But or
there
it
is.
might be in a location in Vegas. I'm trying to remember. But
I think it's probably.
it might be Vegas actually.
I think you're talking about Gold Spike.
Yes,
in
yes.
Vegas?
You're right. It is in Vegas. Yeah. Oh my God, I obsess over that big chess board game with like the cool.
Do you play chess?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of comments for you.
I wouldn't
in
say
here,
I'm
Kane.
really good or anything or good, but I love chess. I've been playing chess a long time. So I love that whole like live, cool, big pieces. I don't know. It's fun. I'm corny and I'm nerdy.
I was the
and
best chess player until 6th grade.
really?
And people, well, yeah, I learned chess really early, but I didn't continue on. So I taught the 3rd graders how to play and stuff like that. And the people defended the 4-move checkmate, and I had to learn the game. But chess is one thing where the best player will always win.
Yeah, chess is a great mind game.
No bad beats in chess. Oh, out of nowhere, the queen came. Just sitting there. It doesn't
Yeah.
happen.
I'm happy that my 8-year-old nephew is loving the game of chess and teaching my mother, who hasn't played in a while, reminding her how to play. And he's, he gets quite upset when he can't win right now. But I said, one day you will. But he's actually quite good for an 8-year-old. Very.
And it opens up your
quite
mind
good.
to math and forward
Yeah.
thinking. It's just a great game all around for that
Yep.
stuff.
And he's learning patience, and you're not going to win every game you play, and it takes time and practice and effort, and eventually you'll get there. And I can't wait till the day that he can beat me. Right now it doesn't mean much when I can beat an 8-year-old in chess, but one day.
I'll add chess to our competition. Since
All right.
It's so good
Okay,
at
so
it.
we got chess,
Chess,
we got
stickball.
stickball, and we got ping pong, and we have tennis on the table.
Yeah, we'll throw tennis in there.
Because
don't
you did
rollerblade
say
or
you beat me in
anything, do
tennis
you?
at that. I don't know about
Oh yeah, so you got to win one.
ping pong
thing.
probably.
How about rollerblade? Can you play any hockey?
No. No, I used to rollerblade a long time ago, but I don't.
Because we could
Don't
put one
play
of us in
hockey.
net and one of us shoot and see who could get. That
Yeah,
would be
you
fair.
kick my butt in that. I'm not. Basketball, that, and
All right,
yeah,
so we'll
you
stay
have
with the
me.
sport you have a chance in.
Yeah, we'll maybe join the Olympics.
You absolutely should. I suggest it to everyone. It's the most fun I have all year, seriously.
Well, speaking of which, actually,
Well,
there's
Joe
a hand
McKeon has
here,
a
so I'll get
mystery
back to
hand.
this.
Yeah.
I guess the dealer might have kicked the cord out. Nope.
No, not this time. We're being told no. But we do have a hand brewing here.
Joe's not showing his hands. Go tell him he's going to get a penalty like Ethel did.
So Calvin opens 6s on the button, and Joe McKean 3-bet him. I'm sorry. Calvin opened on the button with 6s. Abraham looks like he called in the small blind, and Joe McKean 3-bet in the big blind to 1.3 million, and it's on Calvin right now to call or fold. So the option is on Calvin with 6s. And did he just say all in? Or
Well, that's a lot.
I'm trying to. Yeah, he
that's
did
a
say all
lot.
in.
Wow,
Okay,
he
wow.
does shove all in, and
Puts
now
it in.
we'll get
Joe
to
McKean
see.
does not look too excited.
He
and he
called.
folds. Yeah.
Joe
No, he
McKean-
folds. He
Ace
folds.
King?
Yeah, Joe McKean didn't look so happy. Yeah, he folded.
Oh, he
And
folded.
yeah, he
Okay.
folded. He
I thought he
folded.
called and I was guessing his hand.
Yeah, it's
Joe McKeon squeezing again, and I'd be interested to see
I
if he
would
had
say-
another just nothing like
Nothing burger,
8-4
yeah.
offsuit, or if he had a hand that was like a ace deuce or something like that. It seems like Joe likes to be super polarized in those spots where he'll just defend with his ace deuces, for example, and then 3-bet just like the pure garbage.
So interesting. We're not going to know what Joe had, but way to take a stand, Calvin.
yeah. Wonder what he had. Joe McKean with the mystery cards again.
And it's healing all day with it.
We loving it. My silly my voices.
No, there's only been compliments about your voices also.
Oh well, thank you.
I want to hear your imitator. Who's your
Oh my
poker
God,
player
no,
imitation?
I don't imitate anyone. in terms of like I don't know, like
Yeah, come
Who's
on.
your
you got
I
one.
don't
imitation?
know. I'm trying to think. Who would
You
I
have
imitate?
one? I thought you had one like sitting back that you
Who
were
would I
looking
You
imitate?
seem like the kind of guy who would have one, so that's why I asked you
Well, I
first.
mean,
But
most-
now I've
There's
learned that
some-
Anna has all the interesting
Yeah.
voices. So
Oh no,
No, those are-
my voices, my weird little voices. I wouldn't. I don't think I'm good at imitating, but I have some friends who are good at imitating different people. It's
See, what
quite
usually
funny.
happens is if you're sitting with somebody, Abraham flops a set against Calvin, but I don't think Calvin's going to put any money in the hand.
We had a set. I think that's like our first set of the night. Oh no, a second set of the night.
the only poker imitation I could really do is my voice kind of sounds like Cole South's. If you used to watch the old Card Runners videos with Cole South, the training videos. So I've been told by people that my voice is kind of similar to his. So did you guys ever tune into the Card Runners? No.
No.
Yeah,
What is that?
Is that
Card
poker
Runners
stuff?
is a training website, and
Oh, okay.
back in the day, pre-Black Friday,
That
Cole
wasn't
South was
Sheets. That wasn't Sheets and Josephine. That was
no. So they
before.
did a backing site, but Card Runners was a training site.
But I thought their site was a training site / top producers will be back.
I don't know if Josephine ever had a training site. I'm
Yeah,
not
it
sure
was,
about
it was,
that.
'cause
Yeah.
They were charging quite a bit a month, and then your online records went into their system, and they backed the top online
Okay.
players. But they did. It was started off as just X Factor.
Card Runners was
X
Taylor
Factor.
KB. Started it with Andrew Wiggins.
Someone is asking what's the buy-in for this tournament. It is $2,700
$2,700
for this tournament. We have a $1.5 million prize pool, and we have a hefty first place with $350,000
And the
USD.
And the min cash was $49.45.
How do you know that, David?
Yeah, I know that, David.
I missed the jump by one because 8 people busted the prior hand, and I looked and I said, "Damn, I just missed a $700 jump."
Yeah, Stone Cold got 55th in this event, right?
Yes, I did.
Very good. That's a great run.
Well, you made the guy who took 54th happy anyway.
Yes, I did. But online, he didn't look happy anyway because he lost with ace.
Oh, really?
But he told me the story.
Who is he?
I wasn't quite, I forgot exactly which player it was, but like right away I was like, "Oh, I got you the next play." He goes, "I lost with aces," and I heard something more sad and kind of figured he got beat with a hand that wasn't better than aces pre-flop.
Right. There aren't too many of those hands.
No. Classic
Abraham.
min cash for Dave. Yes, I'm trying to
Ace Queen suited, small blind,
be the Kessler of Borgata.
raising it up, and all of a sudden the blinds have increased here to 200,000.
Hey, Joe's going to defend.
Abraham made pretty small raise to 450,000.
Wow.
Joe defended. Joe flops
A lot.
pair of eights
And
Thought he flopped a straight
and a gut
first.
shot.
Mm-hmm.
Abraham flopped just the backdoor flush draw and doesn't improve on the turn.
Joe's been checking back this lately, but it's time to put the foot down a little bit. Abe's defending with the old 2 overs. This is what I was explaining about Abe earlier and his stickiness. Most players wouldn't even see that card.
Yeah, Joe McCain is in the big blind.
But a lot of times an ace or a queen comes, and that's why he
That's
was
his
calling
type of
for
range.
2 cards. And most people will fold that turn.
Yep, Joe McCain takes it down.
And Joe gets an extra $500,000 for betting.
Yeah, gets a little value town. It's a little value bet in there on the turn.
Yep. Well, more protect his hand value bet. I don't know. I mean, the young
Definitely
school
protect his hand
flats
too.
there,
He can
but
have-
the young school also might try to take it if they miss, where Abe was just trying to hit 6 cards. For
Yeah,
half a
definitely.
million.
6 cards out there and was protecting against overcards coming.
Simon Cowell and Cliff ran X Factor. I'm surprised that Cliff didn't patent X Factor. Doesn't the TV show come out with the same name as his poker site? Cliff missed something. Might be the first thing Cliff missed.
And Abraham on the button. 200 to call. And Calvin gets a walk.
Camel looks happy to be there. Abe looks miserable. But people spend their day in different postures, I guess.
So now Calvin, the
So
big chip
Calvin is
leader at this
white.
table, 7.8 million. McKeon
my
bringing up the
Jersey
rear,
guy.
but right around Abraham. Both Abraham and McKeon right around 25 big blinds. Calvin with 39.
See, so I had a good choice. We were joking around before and just picking a random person, and my Jersey guy.
Oh,
Well, I don't know him personally, but
he's been
from
playing
Jersey.
well. Yeah.
He's been playing well, chipping up, and has a good shot.
Do you know where Old Tappan, Jersey is?
I do not.
No, neither do I.
I'm just
I thought
recently.
it was Bergen County. If somebody at the table knows where Old Japan is, let us know what's
Yeah.
happening.
I mean, I lived in Jersey for a few years, but don't know all the areas, obviously. But yeah, Jersey's it's a nice spot. It's kind of like I'm back in New York right now, and it's just like dreadful. I'm like, get me out of here.
Well, you're in
I
Brooklyn.
miss trees.
You're in Brooklyn. It's
All
slightly
these
different.
people, who are you?
That's so funny. Most of the time you don't hear that. It's good to hear some nice words about New Jersey.
New Yorkers
Yeah, no, seriously,
won't
it's more
talk good
quiet.
about New Jersey, but people that move to New York
Yeah.
can see the difference. There's not as
Yeah.
much of a friendliness in Brooklyn as there are in other areas. I was in culture shock at Chaka. Like, it took me days for people to be like, they're not busting on you. They're being nice. I'm like, there's no way. The guy just thanked me 9 times for buying a pack of gum. He has to be mocking me. No, they're very friendly. In Brooklyn, it'd be like, yo, get the F out of my store. You buy
Yeah.
a pack of gum. I got time for this bull. So it's like just the opposite the
Right.
rest of the world.
Yeah, but like not everyone in Brooklyn. I mean, but for sure,
Everyone.
it's
No, everyone.
it's
Every person. Every person. Everywhere.
don't
No,
know about
obviously
that.
it can be everywhere, but it's
yeah,
it's
but
more of a...
yes,
and-
a good majority is for
and they
sure. I
have
mean,
to be
everyone's
that
busy
way.
and everyone's like in their phones and working, and it's
Brooklyn,
just like
I had
people
some
are
really
people are
busy
quick.
in Oklahoma.
I had some really in Brooklyn, really good pizza at DeFara. Have you ever been to DeFara? It's like
no, I've tried a good amount of
tiny-
pizza in New
There
York.
are no bad, like
Yeah,
they're all the best.
yeah. There's
pizzas.
Grimaldi. There's so many good places, but I've never
right.
heard of that place.
DeFara, it's like
Where's
this
that?
tiny little shop. There's just a line coming out of the shop. It's apparently just like one
Okay.
elderly gentleman who's holding down the fort there, and it was
Wow.
fantastic pizza.
Huh? Because there's one called Grimaldi's, which is a oven brick pizza, and it's right under the Brooklyn
Wow,
Bridge.
Calvin check second pair here. Lets a free card come. Gives
Okay, we have a
Abraham a
flush draw.
spot. Brings a flush draw for Joe. A pair for Abraham.
So now it's Abraham who's leading here. He has the second best pair and no draw.
It's,
Or I'm sorry, no flush draw. He does have a gut shot.
it's the classical donk lead.
Well, here's McKeon making the call, and now Calvin thinking, my jack must
ain't
not
the
be
best
good.
card in the world, but he can hit a 10.
That's true.
Can't hit another jack. 2.5 in a million, get almost 5 to 1 plus implied. It's a tough spot. Plus, both players are interested enough in the hand for him to let them play it out.
I feel like if
getting
Calvin
5-1.
were deeper here, you could consider a raise, but
I don't know if that, I mean, looking at their hands, that's a good thing to do. But
Ooh.
wow, straight.
there's a
Spiky,
10.
Two
spiky.
pair
And
and the flush.
right now, Calvin is probably pretty upset that he folded, but
Yeah, he doesn't know.
once he sees the cards,
That's one of the reasons why 2 other people are involved with the pot. You might improve enough to bust yourself.
Abraham rivering 2 pair. Joe McKeon obviously hits his flush.
And Abraham
And
just in no way.
he
unless
won't be
put-
going anywhere,
He
huh?
ain't going nowhere unless he can put Joe and Ace King and Joe flatted pre-flop.
The snap calls. That's a snap call. Yep,
Yeah,
you're right.
he's
He
not-
wasn't folding.
He's not
He
folding.
has 2 pair.
And Joe knows.
We don't fold in Brooklyn. I can't even do it. See,
Yeah,
I can't even
but
imitate. I
Brooklyn-
can't even imitate a freaking
I
New York
folded
accent. I'm
my
from New York.
freaking
Okay,
cards.
there's your attempt. There's my attempt of a impersonation, and I can't do that. I told you I'm not good. And we are going on. Oh no, sorry. Was I good?
So now Abraham down to just 12 big blinds, with the blinds and antes being so big now. Every pot counts. Joe McKeon, the new chip leader, with 8.3 million. That's the guy I picked to win. And Calvin in second place here with 7.2 million.
Kane also picked Secretariat to win that horse race back then.
Abraham with King Jack suited here.
Where's my
12
Paul
and a
Volpe?
half big blinds, and I think he'll be going all in. I'm wrong. He's raising.
It's just too big of a hand for Abe. It's not only suited, but it's high cards. You can't lose value.
He raises. Calvin now with King 5.
Think about what a
blind.
genius he is if he could get Calvin to come in right now with the King 5.
I think Calvin's going to call here.
Come on, Kane, sing. They want you to sing a song. Somebody's mad that L&B wasn't mentioned in Bensonhurst. Or
Well,
Brooklyn.
Calvin does call with a dominated King 5. 3, 3, 9. Flush draw for Abraham. Nothing going for Calvin.
Abraham knew what he'd flop. He wants to get every chip in slowly.
And Abe goes ahead and wins the pot.
So one of the big questions here is when somebody gets knocked out third for 123,000 and they act like they're disappointed because they think it's second or first, are you supposed to tell them you're sorry, or are you supposed to tell them to shut up?
Yeah. Joe McKeon raises it up on the button with 8-9 off. Abraham defends his big blind. Checks.
Oh, RCS, how our summer was in Vegas, and we told all you guys earlier, but I understand you weren't there. Me and Kane had okay summers, did most of our damage on the cash game side. I had, I don't know, 4 cashes out of maybe 9 events, and Kane had a couple of cashes too, and Anna's working on real stuff. I bet
Not
she'll be
really.
back. Oh, come on, it's real. It's better than hoping your ace king beats jacks every day.
I know, it's definitely a lot less brutal of a life.
Yeah.
You know, less emotional swings. But
Ace, King, and Jack. You don't get it in pre-flop with either of those hands, Coldstone.
Me, I play aces, kings, and queens. Yeah, I got caught bluffing 7-4 off where I just missed the red flop and I triple barreled. And I wanted to see the guy's hand, so I turned it over. And if I tell you, like 5 people the rest of the day were like, "Oh, Mr. 7-4," and I'm like showing aces and kings and ace king, trying to get the image back, and just one hand, you're locked into.
That'll change it.
Change it, yeah. So I mentioned that on here, so maybe someone will call me when I flop a set next time.
Yeah, this is some advertising. I'm pretty sure the 7-4 hand never really happened.
7-4 hand did happen, but it was in the quarter 50 level for 125 in chips. Oh, there is no quarter 50 level? Busted.
McKeon takes that one down with the ace-10 suited. As we can see, the updated chip counts. Joe McKeon with almost 9 million now. Calvin with 6.6 approximately. Abraham with just 12 big blinds with about 2.5 million. And right now is really the time when for Calvin it would be a mistake to get involved in a very big pot with Joe. Abraham is so short, he's down to 12 big blinds. There's so many ICM implications right now. The difference between third and second is over $70,000. It's about $73,000. So the last thing that Calvin would want to do is to get in a big type of situation with Joe. I imagine against Joe, he's going to be playing all of his hands more slowly, and instead, Calvin's just going to need to kind of wait for Abraham to get it all in here to try to chip up.
yeah.
Calvin's got the king queen, which is like one of the real royal flush draws.
So this
not
is
like
exactly the
king
kind of spot I was talking about here. Under normal circumstances, he might opt to go ahead and 3-bet here. Joe's certainly raising a lot of hands on the button. It's a good candidate to 3-bet, but in this situation with ICM implications, I think it's a good call. And he does make the call.
And once again, he's kind of in a troubled spot.
Well, McKeon with a mystery hand will be able to figure out, and you guys watching will need to help us here. And with Joe going ahead and betting this flop with the king-queen high, I would certainly be calling here for 1/3 pot.
Hey, Hung's, I need you to quiet down a little bit, and I'd like to keep my nit status. But thank you.
So he does make the call. Turn card is a 5. So now Calvin is chopping with another king high. Joe McKeon checks. I imagine that Calvin will check this back. No reason to start bluffing with a hand that is good at showdown.
You think Joe has the 5 of spades?
I don't think that's likely. River card is the 9 of spades.
Always the numbers, man. Joe's checking.
Checks again. Calvin
And
checks.
king queen should be good, and it's not.
What did Joe show? Perhaps pocket deuces?
I would have to think the way he played the
Pocket
hand, it was
sevens.
somewhere around 7s.
Joe McKeon takes it down with pocket 7s.
Well played. Conservative. I mean, he really hasn't risked his stack or done anything that could get him in too much trouble except for the one bluff earlier.
And for the first time at this final table, somebody has over 10 million in chips, and that is the world champ Joe McKeon, who now has almost twice as many chips as Calvin. He has more chips than Calvin and Abraham combined.
He has 10 of the 18 million.
And as we mentioned earlier, too, Joe McKeon got second in the 1K limit hold'em poker event, and a prize of $22,000.
As well as
the main event.
and another 6 million.
Yeah.
Joe's just really won a lot of events, and you know, some of them just don't get noticed because of this big event. But
Yeah, he knows he final tables a lot and also knows how to close it out.
6 million on the side.
Yep. And we are going on break.
Okay.
So we will be seeing you guys shortly.
And we'll be back to the Joe Show.
To the Joe Show. Maybe, maybe not, but we'll see.
Well, it's going to take a little
But
while
it is.
for
I
not
mean,
to
he
be
has
the Joe Show.
10 point. Yep. He has half of the chips, more than half the chips in play.
Yeah.
So it is a Joe Show right now.
Let me go see if I can buy a piece of him real fast.
I'm going to see how much it's going back. We are still three-handed. Joe McKeon has more than half of the chips in play. We also have Calvin and Joe. And Abraham.
Yes. Abraham waking up with the ace-jack suited.
Ace-jack off.
Ace-jack off. Look black. Ace-jack black.
Ace-jack off in the small blind.
Put the glasses back on, as they are.
Puts in a raise. Joe McKeon. Surprising he put
Mama
down King 8
poker.
suited, but Abraham has been pretty snug in the small line, just been limping. So he elects to fold and folds correctly.
Somewhere in Jones' thought process is these guys probably going to try to let each other bust before they play me. And Abe has 5. Well, Abe only has 2 million, so Abe's going to have to take that shot pretty soon. And you know, he doesn't want to give away 3 million. He also doesn't really want them to play against each other and have it where he has to play heads up against someone with 8 million when he has 10. He'd rather pick that up.
Abraham goes all in with King 9 off on the button.
Huge guy. This is pretty much all they do. They do the commentaries for the main event or a couple of the events. They don't do them with the The dailies are the other things. Well, I think the blinds are still 100, 200. I'm not sure if they went up on that 5-minute break or not. Well, they probably did, though.
And if it's still 100, 200, Abe
I
has.
think it had to go up.
Yeah.
So it would be 120, 240.
Yep. So Abe has just under 10 bigs.
Which
Possibly no.
right, you know, the ace jack's
200.
supposed to be a push there, so maybe it looked even stronger with just a normal open, like you're trying to get full value out of aces or kings.
Blinds are actually 125 and 250.
Sounds right. I'm still thinking the 12-24 levels just get multiplied. I haven't played too many tournaments.
It's a little bigger on the final table.
I haven't played too many tournaments at the 250,000 big blind range.
Joe McKeon takes down a standard pot. Has the chips, has position.
And picking up 400,000 each time.
Joe McKeon has had quite a summer.
Quite a summer.
Quite a summer.
2 years.
Wow, exactly. I mean, I should say quite a 2 years. Obviously winning the main event, WSOP, 2 years ago. And he also won the 10K Limit Hold'em WSOP bracelet this summer. And he also got second in the Borgata Limit Hold'em
Let's go
event.
back to that. Let's go back to that 10K bracelet. He earned for that a couple of 100,000, like over 350,000. And he bought himself twice.
He actually won 311,000.
So then he won 622,000 because he bought himself twice. So not only did he buy
Wow.
into the event, he placed another wager, which probably cost him more than 10,000, and bought himself from Timex. So he actually double cashed.
Nice.
Really sick.
And he also actually won the 1K No Limit Hold'em Big Stacks $1,100 tournament in May, which had a prize of 106,000. So he's had quite a summer. He also got third in the $2,500 No Limit Hold'em Borgata Spring Championship in April. So he has had quite a summer. And he also won the No Limit Hold'em 8-handed tournament in Seminole Hard Rock, which took home 104,000. So he has quite a summer.
Joe's just banging out everything he plays.
He's just riding that wave.
And, don't forget Abe.
And he's a phenomenal player, obviously.
Abe's had a sick year or two also.
Yeah.
Abraham.
Yes. Tell us about it.
You can.
So Abe has $1.5 million in earnings. He won the...
Wait, something just happened here. We got Abraham and Joe.
Yeah, they were all in. I think he just doubled up. Abraham doubled up.
Okay.
So Abraham has $1.5 million in earnings, I should say, and he won the Summer Open Championship in Borgata 2 years ago, and also made the final table of the WPT 15K Championship that Asher Conniff won, and Abe got 6th place in that, so that's pretty good.
$500,000 week that week.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah, and I think Ash had a better one. He won the opener event, and then cool.
And that crew, yeah, it was great, and then he accidentally registered for the
right. I remember
satellite, won it, had to cancel his Europe trip, and then won the event.
What are the chances of that?
Okay, with the last hand, everyone moved closer together. Joe still got a lead with about $7.5 million, and the other two players have $5 million or $4.6 million. Joe with another pair. Just limps. Calvin checks. And we're ripping.
And Calvin has a little under 600,000 in earnings, and he also has a bracelet. Calvin has a bracelet.
Yeah, I think Calvin has about 70,000 besides his bracelet, and his bracelet was.
Yeah, I think it was like 566,000 or 500, something like that. He has also has a good score and has a bracelet under his belt.
And spends most of his time playing cash. So it doesn't give you as much time to accumulate. Like a lot of us have been doing lately.
Yeah.
Cash games are a lot better than shelling out 3 bullets into an event, I think. But there's those players out there that, want to have the wins and events.
Yeah,
and not really thinking
tournaments are
about money.
fun. But cash games is definitely how you're able to sustain
Games,
yourself
Yes.
in this crazy world of tournament poker.
Crazy world where Joe and Abe keep winning everything.
Yep. Yep. How much would it cost for a poker lesson with Joe?
You'd have
How to run
understand
good
it.
and play well.
It wouldn't be bad.